Steven, my dad told me he bought a house. He bought a house because he wanted to be a part of a community and do all that stuff. So that means my childhood house is going to be no more.
It's interesting, Steven. My dad decides to buy a house and go through the process of moving because I gave a suggestion of, hey, I really think you should find a community and look for a place, because he's like, I want to move. I want to change something up. I want to do something different, or I'm tired of the stairs at the house and I'm getting older and I don't want to have to go up and down them. But mostly it's a community. He's like, I don't want a retirement home. I'm like, Dad, it's not a retirement. It's a community, 55 and over. Like, so and it was while I was away in Kenya, he's like, I put a down payment on a house. I was like, cool.
Wow. Sounds like you.
I was like,
bought a new building.
That was a week. And, and I can't help you while I'm here. So I can't do anything. Yes. He just closed on the house the other day. I went with him to the closing table, took some pictures. I sent you pictures, right?
No, I have no idea what the house looks like.
No, I sent you pictures of him signing papers.
No.
Wearing his Adidas blue jumpsuit like a rapper.
No, I'm pretty sure I didn't get any pictures, because that would have been a lovely picture to get.
Well, that's what he does. You know, he wears his rapper suits. Love it. His drip.
And he always has like a matching hat and matching shoes too, right?
I don't think he wore a matching hat. I don't think he wore a hat today, but yes, he generally, if he has his blue on, he's wearing a blue hat and he's going to wear some of his blue tennis shoes or
Polin.
Well, yeah, whatever they are.
So is he downsizing? I take it.
Well, I hope he doesn't listen, but downsizing, the house is bigger. It has a basement that is massive, which he'll probably never go into. He's like, I could make a man cave. I'm like, Dad, but that's downstairs. And then he's like, I love the loft. I'm going to put my office up in the loft. And I go there and there's 16 stairs up to the loft. And I'm like,
wasn't he complaining about stairs?
You said to me you didn't want stairs. Well, I'm like, Dad, like, come on now. Like, you can't say the one thing and then go the other, because we only had like 10 stairs at the other house. Not a lot, right? Going upstairs, because it was already split level. So you had 3 up and then you had 8, another 10 up. And that was about it. But it's really more about the community. The fact that there's a community center, there's people that they have walking trails, they have a pool indoor and outdoor, they have a gym, and they do events. So that's what it's all about. Sure. He just has to do it.
So how does he feel about moving out of the house, that your mom was in? How do you feel?
I mean, we knew at some point it would happen.
Sure.
But it's just like,
it's tough.
The pain in the ass of going and getting all the stuff out that, or going through stuff that I was a kid. Like, oh, here's your stuffed animals when you were a kid. I'm like, cool. What the fuck do I do with this? Like, what do I do with this? You're like, is it sentimental, or I haven't seen it in 35 years? Does it even matter if it doesn't exist to me anymore?
Yeah.
Like, I keep the music boxes or anything that was close to, something, but it's all just clutter at some point. Right?
Yeah. You would hope that there's some nostalgia attached to some of these physical, tangible items, but
for what?
You're not someone that should keep these kind of things, but there's other people that do look back, think about memories.
I do look back. I got photos, I got other things, but then it's just like, I don't know. Do I need my mom's booties, her first shoes from 1947 that my dad brought over? I'm like, what do I do with this? Do I care? Because what happens is, after me, no one gives a shit. I barely give it. I don't give a shit about my mom's first pair of shoes. Like, I don't know if I'm broken or what, but I don't care.
Yeah, I see your point. I certainly see your point.
Anyway, it's difficult because for me, like, he can do whatever he wants. Like, he's an adult. He can make his choices. That's fine. Like, it's not for us to say, don't do this. Like, what do we have an attachment to the house for? The house is great. It's where I grew up from 8 years old on till my 30s when I moved out. It's where I started the business, right? It's where I ran everything for years out of. And it just was what I did. But again, it's a great spot. It's just a great spot. It has all that outside land. It's just an awesome spot. But it's really about him moving on, and, it's not forgetting the past. It's just a different house. It is all on one level for the most part, except for when he wants to go upstairs to that loft, which he wants to really use as a computer room and stuff. So it is what it is. It's about the community.
It's a new beginning.
It's something like that.
Did you get one last look at the house?
There isn't one last look. It's not for sale yet.
Oh, okay. So he moved out, but I thought you guys sold the house.
He didn't
already.
move out yet. He just
So
closed on the other house.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so and then he'll be moving over at some point, and then the other house is going to go up for the sale at the end of, probably mid-February. I mean, I've already started talking to some other realtors that I know to let them know that it's coming for sale because it's a very sought-after area because of the school district. It seems to be one of those things where, hey, I don't want to live in New York anymore, and I want to have my family in a
suburbs,
because a lot of people do commute to New York from that area, and the school district is like second or third in the state or maybe in the country. I don't even know anymore. It's just one of those school districts that people want to be a part of. So
nice size lot too, right?
Yeah, it's 1.25 acres. It's the largest in the development. It was when they were building properties in 1976.
Yeah.
So it used to be farmland, and then they built houses where they actually all had an acre or more.
Man, that's nice. I'm only on 1/3 of an acre, and I mean, I feel like that's a decent size, but yeah, 1.5 acres? Oof.
1.25 acres.
Quarter.
But it's, that's why I was never allowed to cut the lawn, because I would have just drawn like flyer symbols in the backyard.
You would have done like 3 passes and been like, I'm done. I don't want to do this.
What is it? No, but my lines would not be straight. I would have spelled my name out in the grass.
Meanwhile, I'd be striping the lawn, making it perfection.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh my God, this is crazy. I need to do
Spending half
this.
the day in the lawn.
But it's a great property, and I will do a walkthrough, I think, and do my own realtor video to put up on the internet. Maybe it's just a reel or something. But
are you doing the photos?
My dad asked me to, but it's just like, I guess I'll do them. Like, I'll do them, but what is it? The rooms are going to be empty. So a walkthrough video is more important, but I will do still photos, but I will do walkthrough videos. I'll grab the Insta360 Flow 2 and go on a phone, because that was so much easier when I did that at my loft when I rented it.
Sure. Yeah.
It was just easy. Anyway, I'll be doing that. I expect it to sell pretty fast. It's just, you won't be going home anymore. Not that I exactly went home a lot anyway, but it was always nice to have it there. But the whole point is my dad should have a more of a community and be around more people, whether they're 60 or 70 or whatever age they are. That's the whole point. Just has to be around people, because if you just sit at home and you don't do anything, you fucking think the whole time, and you just do your brain just goes off in bad directions. You just need to be around people, no matter whether it's having dinner, playing cards, walking, swimming, kibitzing in Yiddish, and just doing that. So anyway,
100%.
Let's move on from that. I am flying out to LA next week, and by next week I mean either Sunday or Monday. I booked both flights. I have to decide whether and I can cancel one of them, whether I go out Sunday, which is a day early, because there's an event on Tuesday, and it's an event from this venture capitalist fund that also works with creators, and it's a small, like 70 or so creators that they're bringing out. There's going to be discussions, there's going to be conversations, and I saw they were doing it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fly out. The miles are pretty cheap on the airline, and I'm going to just go. And tell them that I'm going to photograph it for them.
I was just going to say, what's your role in all of this?
I didn't ask.
Okay.
I wasn't going to ask. I was like, I'm coming out and I'm going to photograph this. And the woman was like, well, yeah, we would love for you to like enjoy. It's a really good event. You should, make sure you get the most out of it. I'm like, see, what you don't understand is I can't sit with those people in a crowd of 70 people and listen and pay attention and give a shit. Being able to move around and have a camera in my hands and document and shoot actually helps me pay attention more. That keeps me engaged.
What are you thinking of bringing gear-wise?
Good question. So,
do you know what the room looks like, first of all?
I looked. I think they have like a theater at this place. I hope it's the one that has like natural light that's coming in, a room where they do a meeting space. I should ask to see photos from last time.
That's what I would do.
Actually, let me make a note. Let's see. See photos from last time.
I mean, I don't mind if there's no natural light, as long as it's well lit in terms of the stage and evenly lit. And
well, even if it's a stage or just a conversation, like it doesn't matter. But my key is, before these people go on stage, going into the back areas, doing the candid photojournalistic stuff. I'm not talking about I don't give a shit about just the live stuff.
I didn't know you had access to backstage and all that.
Steven, do you know who I am?
What was I thinking? Of course you do.
Even
all
if I
access pass.
Even if I don't, I do. I'm like, guys, let me fucking cook. Let me cook.
You gonna wear a nice bright purple shirt?
Yeah, Steven.
On stage with your hair up?
Yeah, I'll be putting my hair up. Like, this is what I do. I don't know if I'll be sleeveless. It'll be LA. I don't know what the temperature is there, but maybe. We'll see.
Definitely inconspicuous.
It doesn't matter.
What were we just talking about? The wedding new photographers, the young photographers these days, how it's more about them and what they wear versus trying to blend into the background.
First off, I can't hide the fact that I've got massive biceps and a big ass.
I mean, if you don't wear a sleeveless shirt, you kind of could.
What about my ass, Steven? What do you suggest
that
for
one's
that?
a hard one to hide. Yeah, that badonk, man. Whew.
Right, so you're going to see my ass, you're going to see my hair, you're going to see my arms. But it's not like I'm documenting my, like, it's not like, look at me, everybody. I'm running around taking photos. It's like, this is what I do. I take photos.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Basically, my goal is to take the photos when I'm there, but interact with this community because I'm a part of the creator community. I'm a part of these people, right? We're all on the same page.
I mean, you're literally creating while they're doing this.
Right. So that's why I don't believe in just sitting by idly and not. That's why I don't go to concerts without without shooting a show. Like, I just don't like doing nothing.
Yeah.
And that's me personally. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to do what I do, which is take photos, do behind the scenes, do candids. Oh, you asked what I'm taking. I'll take the R1. I will have the 10 to 20 as I always do. I have the 28 to 70 as I always do. And maybe I'll take an 85 1.2 or 1.4. It all depends on what I decide to do.
No long glass if you're stuck in the back for certain
I won't be
shots?
Stuck. I'll go wherever I want, Steven.
I'm just saying, depending on the layout, like you might not have access unless you're on the left or right. Or
I just don't like the look of the 70 to 200.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm just saying if that's the nature of it, if you can't do anything but front of house, no, I just don't know how it's going to be set up. I've always put it in the bag just to be safe.
I just think it's too big, takes up too much space, and is an unnecessary lens. I could always
bring the older 7200, the collapsible.
Hate that lens. I could take a 135 if I want, a 135 1.8, and that could be the extra one. It's just like 2.8 or better. Sorry, f2 or better at this point. So maybe 85, probably not 135. I don't know. I just have to figure it out. And that's, generally speaking, don't need super long glass at this point. Now, if they had a 50 to 150 from Sony,
yeah,
I would be taking the 50 to 28 to 70 and 50 to 150 would be ideal all day.
And remember, we have that whole VCM lineup if you want to just bring a bunch of small lenses just to throw in the bag, all the 1.4s.
Yeah, it would only be the 85 if I did. Because I have a 28 to 70. I don't need the 35. I don't need the 50.
You got the 21.4 too if you need some wide shots without distortion. Because that 10 to 20 is a little rough.
I just don't think.
And it's a 1.4, not a f4.
I just don't think I still don't understand a 20 millimeter. Give me a 20.
Yeah.
Give me a 12 to 20 f2. Right. Like give me something unique. Like here's what I think. What I need from Canon. If they do a 50 to 150 f2 or a 50 to 180 or whatever. Copy Sony. I don't care. 50 to 150 f2. Give me that lens. Give me both of those lenses and I'll call it a day because that's incredible. Because, 200's longer than 150, but 50 to 150 f2, especially in the situation I'm going into, would be an ideal choice. I'm also going to take the wide lux in the bag just because I like to have it now.
Unique.
Just to give it something unique and slightly different.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I'm basically going to fly out either Sunday or Monday, and I'm flying back Wednesday. The event's on Tuesday, and I'll fly back on Wednesday, which is my birthday, and I have bowling that night because I care about bowling.
Little birthday bowl.
Yeah. Well, so I'll let you know how that event goes, but that's the plan is go out and shoot, maybe see Tyler Shields, hang out with him. Maybe I'll stay with him, another photographer, and just, I don't know it's LA. I'll see who I run into.
That's cool.
Talk to.
Hopefully it's a good event.
Yeah, hopefully. But then the week after on the 28th, I think it's a Thursday evening, I'll be flying to Paris to get there on Friday morning. The reason I'm going is I have a friend who's opening a business there, and it's the first week that he's opening, and I want to show some support. He's a close friend, known him for 15 years. And
this is the friend that I know too, right?
Chocolate Thunder?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, man. Sexual Chocolate?
Man, it's been years since I've spoken to him.
He's great. He's one of my favorite people in the world. So I looked at flight miles and they were pretty inexpensive to go to Paris. So I did it and I booked an Airbnb and taken our film guy with us this time, throw him to the wolves and go make some content while we're out there in Paris. But the other thing to try and figure out is, I was like, what could I take to Paris to shoot that we could film? Now, of course, I'm probably still going to take an R1 with a 28-70 and an 85-1.4, probably the VCM, because the 85-1.2 is just so heavy, and a 10-20. But those are the three lenses I generally take. Again, if I had a 50-150, I wouldn't even need the 85, because that f2 is such a good 28-70. 50-150 would be such a good compromise. I am definitely taking the wide lux with me. I debated taking a 4x5, but I settled on, let's figure out how to take a Leica and try to do something totally different. I want to take a Leica monochrome. The problem, okay, here's the thing. One, Leica doesn't talk to me. But I have other friends that can get stuff through Leica directly.
The irony is that you were just at their headquarters, by the way.
Which I have the guy's business card right here. The guy gave me his business card, the vice president of something over there. And he's like, oh, yeah, get in touch. I'm like, yeah, they don't like me. So I let him know. I'm like, hey, I'm looking to do this thing. He's like, oh, we'll try to connect you with the people in LEICA. And yeah, so nothing. Dead silence on that end. So I also have B&H as an option. So B&H is very good at just, hey, I'd like to borrow something. Can you send it? And they literally drop it in the mail. It doesn't matter if it's 20 grand or 30 grand worth of gear. Next day. It is literally there the next day with an RMA to return it in like 3 weeks, which is insane. So the choices are, like, my brain went to, let's see, why would I choose to take a Leica? Well, one, it's a challenge. It's something a little different I haven't done. So there's that. My first thought was, I want to take a monochrome camera. So I was thinking M11 monochrome, but with the EVF attachment that goes into the hot shoe.
I was going to say, rangefinders with your eyes?
I can't do rangefinders. Yeah. I refuse to do them. I tried it. It's very difficult. I don't understand all the different lines. Like, this is for 28. This is for 35. This is for 50. And I'm like...
quite a learning curve for sure, yeah.
And it just, the way that my eyes are, I don't shoot with glasses. And so but that doesn't matter. It's not about the sharpness. It's about lining up these boxes. And I just can't do it.
I mean, the one good thing is it certainly slows you down. And I know you're big on shooting with intent. And I think you would certainly shoot with quite the intent if you're shooting with a rangefinder and taking that time to slow down and shoot.
Yeah, but the reason I would take the monochrome, the EVF is when I was in Kenya, my buddy Mark, who was on the trip with us, had an M10 monochrome with the EVF on top, and he also had a red filter and and a 35 f2. So he's like, here, and it's fun. It's a challenge. Like, it is not a great camera to hold on to. We know that, but it was kind of fun and different, but great to have a rangefinder where I could actually get focus because it has focus peaking. So that is one option. M11 monochrome. The lens choice I would take is a 35-1.4. I believe it's a Summilux 35-1.4. They also have a 35 f2, and they have a second 35 f2, which is an APO, which is like a $9,100 lens, but that is not in stock. There's a lot of Leica not in stock. But then on the flip side, there's another choice. You have the MVE1, which is their new rangefinder, but it has a built-in EVF, but it's not monochrome. So we don't know, like, what is the difference versus converting a file versus having the straight up monochrome? Because their sales pitches. They're like, it's monochrome. It's so much better. It doesn't have a color array. It's sharper.
I was going to say, I think I've seen that the M11 monochrome is much better when it comes to shadow recovery and stuff like that, and dynamic range overall, than just converting it.
Would you ever be able to know the difference if you put them side by side?
I mean, unless you're pixel peeping, most likely not. And someone like you's not doing high dynamic range scenes and really pushing and pulling files anyway. So
no, my goal is to document Paris like the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, using
I think you should do monochrome. I think that would be an interesting challenge. Plus, it would mimic more that 1930s, 40s look.
Well, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that B&H doesn't have any monochrome M11s in stock.
Okay.
Right. That's a problem.
The other question is, would you use any filters, like a red filter, for example, just to bump that contrast a little more and to create a little more drama in the scene?
The thing is, I talked to a friend who uses a lot. I talked to 3 people that use Leicas heavily. my buddy Adam, you know Adam Lerner from way back, he uses Leicas, and he's like, you could use a red filter. He's like, but also you could also do one tweak in Lightroom and it kind of does the same thing at this point.
Yeah.
I asked my one Leica friend something, but he's also, all he does is take pictures of his Leica with his cell phone just to show that he has Leicas. It's like, oh, I would have sent you mine, but I got it redone and I haven't taken it out of the box yet. It's just like collector's pieces, and you know my take on that. Then I reach out to Peter McKinnon and I'm like, Peter, like, what would you take to Paris if you were doing this? And he's like, Q3 monochrome. And I'm like, what the that's a 28 millimeter 1.7 lens, but it is monochrome, but it also then has the autofocus. But I kind of didn't want to have the autofocus. I wanted to have not that, right?
You wanted a viewfinder, but using it manually, like focus peaking and stuff like that. So you're kind of using it like a rangefinder, but it's not a true rangefinder experience.
Correct, because I can't use a rangefinder.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have 15 frames a second, which of course I could turn off, so I don't know what the right choice is. And the problem is you should really just pick something and just go, and that's all that matters. I like 35 millimeters. I'm not sure that I like 28 that much, but then is there that much of a difference between 28 and 35?
I think 28 might actually benefit you in Paris.
I don't know.
Just that extra couple millimeters. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's going to be a massive difference, but I'd rather just be a slightly wider. But you're not at 24. You're not at 20. 28's not terrible.
I just like 35. I just like the feel of a 35 personally.
I'm with you. I think if I had to choose, yeah.
So it's just a tough choice to decide what to do.
Other thing filter-wise, too, is like, would you bring like a polarizer or something?
No.
Something like that?
No, I don't do that in my everyday world, and I'm not going to do that in this world.
It might help with monochrome.
I don't know.
Lots of options. I just think it's fun to, kind of limit yourself, in terms and make it a challenge. I like the monochrome aspect. I like filters. I like fixed focal length. It's different.
Part of the reason I love fixed focal, like I did that in Paris. So when I went to Paris the first time, if you recall, I was doing a vlog and I was doing stills. I had a Nikon D850, I believe, and I got upset because I wasn't doing anything right. I was trying to shoot a vlog and trying to take photos both at the same time, which means you do none of it right. So I went out one morning with just a 35-1.4 at the time, that really beautiful 35-1.4 on Nikon, and I just went and searched Paris. And it was tough at first, but then my brain kicked in and I was like, oh yeah. And I just started to get a great story, because that was, you just distill it down.
And again, you are forcing yourself to shoot with intent, because you are limited in what you can shoot with that focal length, with the single camera, with all of that. And monochrome, because I monochrome too, there's going to be scenes that look good to your naked eye, but when it's in monochrome, it might not look great. So I think that's really going to be limiting too.
I guess if I get an EV1, maybe I just set the camera to monochrome.
I would 100%
and
set
just
it to
don't
monochrome.
even work on color. And of course, when you shoot the raw DNGs, you always will be able to get the color back, but I don't want it. I don't want it, but give me the preview in black and white.
I still think shooting it with the M11 monochrome though would be cool, but or the Q43 monochrome.
Not the Q43, Q3.
Q3, I mean monochrome.
It's Q3 monochrome.
Yeah.
It's just B&H doesn't have any of those in stock, so I have to go through ulterior routes or alternate routes through people that know people at Leica, because Leica doesn't come to me.
God, I hope you love it, and I hope you become a Leica shooter and you buy Leicas.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Could you imagine?
What could I not do? With a Canon. I know it's all different, so I don't even want to get into that. But
it would be funny.
Part of the reason is I think we could have a good title for the video: switching to Leica in Paris.
You should shoot the whole thing in black and white too.
Yeah, well,
and wear an old timey outfit. You see here.
See here, son.
Mid-Atlantic accent.
Mid-Atlantic
or transatlantic.
Yeah, transatlantic. Steven, I am not going trans right now. Not right. I mean, I know my hair looks curly. I know I have a great ass already, but not doing it.
Yeah.
But I think it really could lend to a good title, is like, am I switching to Leica or switching to Leica ...
We did that one Leica challenge, if you recall,
where I got yelled at by those women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I feel like I didn't do well, but
I actually think it might have done well.
You should just title it, I hate Leica. I love Leica. I'm a Leica shooter now.
It could be like, goodbye Canon. Hello, Leica.
Goodbye, Canon. Hello, ... We did that actually before.
Oh.
Or no, maybe it was Nikon, but we've definitely used that title.
Yeah, so that's part of the thing that we do is we try to figure out, well, what could we title something, you know?
Yeah, if you don't have a good title, it could be the best video in the world and completely flop. We've seen that too many times.
Yeah, which really
For example,
sucks.
the upcoming Safari video that we're going to put out, it's a great like vlog of and POV of your entire Safari experience.
Yeah.
And like, what do we title it? If we just say photographing on Safari, whatever, it's going to get 0 views. But if we attach to some gear or something like that, like maybe using the Sony A7 IV in the real world, blah, 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 that might do something.
Well,
but
here was the premise of the Leica video we put up. It was called $10,000 Leica Photo Challenge 5-minute portrait, parentheses, she yelled at me. It has 98,000 views. It was released 7 years ago in 2018. The challenge is, can I get quality street photos in only 24 minutes with only 24 shots? And I put up sample DNG files back in the day too. Crazy.
Yeah, so I'm looking at first 24 hours. I think that got like 30,000 views or something.
That's not bad.
It took a while to spike up over time.
So I don't know. What do you guys think I should take? You could always text me at the number, which I have right here on my text line is 313-710-9729. What would you take? Honestly, like it's between those Leicas, Q3 monochrome, M11 monochrome with an EVF, or the MEV1, which is the one that's in stock at B&H. But if I have to make the decision, I don't know. People keep pushing me towards the Q3, but you know my thoughts on the Q3. It's too modern it doesn't feel like the Leica experience.
Yeah, but if you're not using a rangefinder at all to begin with, like that is the Leica experience.
I don't mean that. I mean the shitty feeling body. I mean the shutter click, one shot type of thing, not having all of the other bells and whistles.
I think negating the whole rangefinder part is already taking away from the Leica experience.
Well, the way that I would shoot is it's going to be on single shot. I am not doing rapid fire shooting. If I do use a Q3, Agreed. It would end up, I guess you would use autofocus or lock on tracking or however it works. I know you could do it manually, but I think that would defeat the purpose. I don't need to make it completely impossible or just like stripping it all back, but I do want intent. One shot here, one shot there. That's the point. Just get into the world.
Yeah.
So, but I need the connections. If not, B&H will send me a MEV1 with the grip, extra battery, and I'm going to ask for the 35-1.4, and that would be
call it a day.
And that would be what I take. I just want the one lens choice. And we're there for a couple of days, and then I'm in Paris, and I'm going to eat some baguettes with French butter.
Drink some wine, eat some cheese.
There will be 0 wine drank by me. There will be 0 cheese eaten by me.
I know. That's why I'm saying it.
I will not be doing that.
No fun.
Basically. Anyway, let's move on. Speaking of Leica, we've got Fuji to talk about, the wannabe Leica.
Great transition.
I just had to do some sort of transition. What's with you and transitioning today, Steven?
Okay.
Everything is transitioning. So Steven is going to take the reins on this to talk about this new Fuji camera that just came out, and we're going to discuss it.
It is certainly a new camera. It's another first, in my opinion, for the camera industry. It's called the Fuji Instax Mini Evo Cinema. It's a new 3-in-1 hybrid camera that takes Instax mini film. It acts as an Instax printer. It takes digital photos and it takes video clips. I mean, the really unique part about this is the look. If you guys have a second, look this thing up. It's purely a vertical shooting cinema camera is what they're calling it when it comes to orientation. It mimics like a director's viewfinder, looks kind of like a 16 millimeter Bolex camera or Super 8 camera from back in the day. It's a film camera from yesteryear, basically. That's the look they're going for. And it has a fixed 28 millimeter f2 lens. It has a viewfinder, which really is just like a magnifying loop, but they're calling it a viewfinder.
Steven, when you say lens, you should put that in quotes.
Plastic, fantastic. It's a piece of plastic that you're looking through for the most part.
And it definitely has a small sensor.
Oh, well, that's the thing about Instax is we know that it's shitty. Like, we know the quality is going to be shit. But how do you make it a fun experience? I feel like that's the part that Fuji does so well. But just like the Evo series, it has like again, a fun experience, a little print winder, which is a cool little touch. So when you want to print a photo that you just took, you wind the print winder and it prints the photo. It takes a micro SD card. It has a built-in non-removable battery, which is very annoying because once that thing goes, this camera is dead. Again, shitty quality. It's expected. It has a 5 megapixel sensor. And here's the interesting part. It lets you take a 15-second video clip, then print a frame from that clip, and the print comes out with a QR code that someone can then scan and watch said clip. Also, you can print like metadata on it, like an overlay from like a camcorder, like that info, or use poster templates that mimic movie posters. The video clips, they simulate different eras. It has like a scroll wheel that they call the eras dial, or they call it the gen dial in North America because of Taylor Swift.
Oh, generation. Yeah. Well, doesn't she just call it eras? Literally eras. You know, that's why I never understood Eras Tour. When they were like the Eras Tour, I was like, what's an Eras Tour? Right?
Eras, whatever you want to say.
It's an era. It's not an era.
Yeah, I say era, personally.
Well, that's what it is. It's literally a dial that says, was it 1910s to 2020?
So it goes in decade increments from 1930 all the way to 2020. And then there's like an intensity dial on the lens itself, that little plastic fantastic, that lets you adjust the overall strength of said look. It's like applying a LUT to log footage or a preset on a photo or something like that. It's now applying it to the footage or the photo that you take. What I found really interesting is that it's not just the look that's changing, but it also tweaks like the audio, like it'll add crackling or a hissing sound, like a filter added if you're in like the 1930s or 1940s gen, or digital glitches in the 80s, like if the camera shakes, stuff like that. I mean, Fuji really did a good job making this camera different and something brand new that we really haven't seen before. What I don't like, and this is something that not many people have talked about, is that the clip that you scan, like the QR code that comes out on that print, it only lives on Fuji's servers for 2 years. But then what? It just gets deleted?
It's kind of weird.
The whole point to me of tangible prints is they live forever. But then if you print this QR code out on this Instax mini print, it only lasts for 2 years. So it's kind of like defeats the purpose almost.
Oh, maybe they'll change something like that.
Or like maybe you could buy a subscription so you have some kind of 100 gigs of data or something that Fuji holds for you forever. Like they should offer something like that, because I really find it pointless if they're only going to live for 2 years.
Right. Because like in 10 years you go back, but who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Like these prints, the whole point of prints is to look back in 10, 20 years, not in 2 years or less than 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I took Instax photos when Hannah was born, my daughter. The day she was born, I took everybody holding her. I took a picture of them and we have it framed. But honestly, it's in her closet. I never even hung it. And I still have not looked at them since I took the photos and put them in that frame. So it's been 2.5 years now already. If they had QR codes on it, it'd be pointless, because they would go to nothing. They'd be deleted.
What's your second daughter's name?
You will find out in 2 weeks when she's here.
Oh, come on, man.
2 weeks. God, less than 2 weeks. Jeez, it's getting close. Speaking of that, I might not be on RAWtalk for those 2 weeks. We'll find out. Moving on with this camera, of course, you have a dedicated app that you can use, and you can edit longer 30-second clips if you want to like make a montage or something like that of your 15-second clips. You can share photos as well, of course. But at the end of the day, this is a party camera. It just seems a little too big for me, for my liking, but it does grab people's attention, like the look of it, again, like that Super 8 look. It's a very odd but also unique looking camera. Again, take a look. Before I move on, what are your thoughts on this?
So, you know, being 45 almost and having to get a colonoscopy shortly, look, let's take a step back and think like a stupid 20-year-old or 16-year-old or 22-year-old or 24-year-old.
Which is who this camera, I would think, is aimed at. This
is something for that look at me generation that wants to take it to parties, wants to go out to Central Park and gallivant around because they can barely afford to be in New York, but they can go do these dumb things and drink their stupid coffees and Manhattans and waste money on dumb shit.
All the wonderful things in life.
Right. All the wonderful things in life. And then post it, and it's kind of unique and different because we know that it was interesting. Like, I love looking at those 1950s, 60s, 70s, 16 millimeter or 8 millimeter 3-minute things that people used to have. They had the cameras that would go
Yep, the reels.
right, and do that, and that was kind of cool. And we didn't do that because we didn't have those cameras. But people would always try to replicate things, and now they want to replicate the different eras, and that's totally fine. I don't think it's a problem at all. I think it's interesting, but the reason it's more interesting is they didn't fuck up the price like they did with the X half.
Yes.
The X half was what, $899?
It was around $800. Yes, like way overpriced. Where this is $400. So
This
that
is $400.
and I feel like this is better made. Like it seems like it's built better. It seems more robust, more of quality than like the plastic piece of crap that the X half is.
I still don't think this is good quality. I look at that lens. It's not even a lens. It's like the smallest CCD in the history of whatever sensor is. They're just so tiny. The opening is like smaller than this, smaller than your pee hole.
Yeah, I mean, from the reviews that I've watched, like it seems like the build quality just seems to be a little better than your standard like plastic Instax that you're used to.
Sure. And that's fine. That's good. Like I'm not opposed to this. I think Fuji does a great job, even though they don't send us anything. They do a great job of coming up with these ideas and trying things and seeing what sticks. I think the reason the X half didn't stick is the price. Mostly it's unique and it's different. This is super unique and different. And I think the whole age demographic of like 16 years old to the mid 20s is going to like to carry this around. And then you're going to see stupid people on like the red carpets and being like, I'm just using this. My problem with it is if you're documenting stuff for the future, the quality is such shit and garbage that you are just documenting like shit. And if you really want to do cinematic looks, you can do cinematic looks, but not with this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a camera that you would truly be documenting, history with or an event with. But
like you go around with friends, and these friends end up being like very important poets and all this stuff in the future. And you look back and you're like, yeah, I got this.
Very important poets. That's so
dude,
random.
I'm thinking of the 70s and 60s. Allen Ginsberg. I'm thinking of those people, right? But beatniks, like beatniks, like in New York, like you hang out with all these people in your 20s, and somebody turns into some really important person. Or the group is like ended up being the F. Scott Fitzgerald people. And I'm just saying, now you look back in 25, 30 years and you're like, wasn't that really cool? That Instax, we used the 1940s filter on it. And you're like, cool.
I get you for sure. But again, I think this is a party camera and that's what it shines at. Is it practical? Absolutely not. Is it fun? Absolutely, yes. At least it seems like it. I haven't had my hands on it just yet, but I will say I have a handful of Instax cameras and I never use them. I rarely use them, and it's mainly because it's
$1.50 every time you take a picture.
Just gonna say the film is so damn expensive. I think it's about $1 a shot at this point. And they're big and bulky to bring around when I got my phone in my pocket at all times. And just for future proofing it a little more, like the phone, yeah, it's still not great quality either, but at least that is going to be much better than the Instax quality. If I want to take quick pictures of my daughter.
This is all I want to take to Paris.
I mean, it'd be fun, but I don't know if I would waste it on an entire trip to Paris.
Wait, I'm looking on B&H at the accessories. It has like a loop that you can put on the little screen, which is good.
That's the magnifying loop, yeah.
Does it come with it, or you have to pay extra for that?
I think it comes with it. They're calling it the viewfinder, but really it's just a loop. And it's a super small, low resolution screen. So, but again, you're not, I don't even know why they give you a loop. I think it's just more for aesthetic feel.
I think
look.
the loop is great. But that's what I want to do is I want to make it feel like I was shooting back then.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's not like you're like fine tuning focus with the loop. Like it's just,
well, no, it's just so that you have a better look. You put it up to your eye and it makes you feel like you're some special person from the 1950s. Like,
yeah, again, I think it's mimicking like a director's viewfinder or like a Super 8 or a Bolex camera, like something like that from back in the day.
It's a 5 megapixel CMOS sensor. It's a 1920 by 2560 resolution still image. Oh, it says micro SD card slot. I thought it included 256 gigs internally. It doesn't. It's expandable up to that.
Yeah, so you definitely need a micro SD in this camera if you want to have any type of storage. I heard the internal storage is next to nothing. Maybe enough to get you started for the first day, but that's about it. But honestly, dude, I would probably buy this camera, use it once or twice, and put it in the closet and almost forget about it. Kind of what I did to my current Instax lineup.
Yeah. Well, I think people would. I think it's kind of interesting, and for the price, I mean, it does look cool, and it does give people a nostalgic feel. You gotta remember that it's like the year 2000 was 26 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a generation.
I'm also, talking from the standpoint of a 37-year-old father who doesn't have much time to go out and use a party camera like this. As a college kid, I'd probably be using this all the time. So I'm not really the demographic. I do see the proper use case for it for a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old
Yeah, I know what the
or whatever.
proper use case
sure.
is in college. Hey guys, let's make a porn in
for you,
1930.
Very short clips for sure.
Let's make a porn in 1940. Hey guys, let's make a 1950s porn. Okay, today we're making 1960s where there's wait, the 1970s Bush. Okay, and afros. All right, guys, well, let's make porn through the eras. This is called the porn camera. Fuji's never going to send it to me now, but still, it could be that. That could be interesting.
And I think they said technically you have like over 100 different looks and styles because you can adjust, again, the intensity on each look or generation that you're applying to the footage or photo.
I think that is super cool and unique.
Agreed.
To be able to change the generations and eras, and it's going to be baked in, and it's not going to be, something you can go back and do.
Yeah.
You know you're not getting great quality. I think it's interesting.
Which for $400, that's fine. If they charged, if this was $1,000 or $800, like the half X, I'd be like, this is a no go, no buy.
Except,
definitely.
Steven, if someone decided to make a either you want to talk about micro four thirds, you want to put a micro four thirds sensor into $1,000 box with a slightly better lens that has the software and does very similar things as this for $1,000, but it can actually do quality through the eras. That would be kind of interesting too.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
always
get that.
about more quality. That's just me.
Yeah, but again, party camera. So
anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Let's get to is Apple taking on Adobe?
So Apple Creator Studio, they have copied Adobe for the most part, and they're now bundling 10 of their creative apps, just like Adobe did. Like I said, Final Cut Pro, you're getting Motion, Compressor, Logic Pro, Pixelmator Pro, Keynote, Pages, Numbers, Freeform, and Main Stage, where Adobe, by the way, offers 20 full creative apps in their suite, but it's also much more expensive. Apple is now bundling all of these for $12.99 a month or $129 a year. And it's much less if you're a student at $299 a month or $30 a year.
Yeah, the thing here is it's not apples to apples to compare right now. It's not apples to apples to compare Creative Suite from Adobe to Apple's thing. Unless you're like...
Keep in mind, they're calling it the Creator Studio. So
right.
They're definitely going after that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if your two things that you use are Premiere and Audition, then you would have Final Cut and
Logic Pro.
And Logic Pro, right? So yeah, that's really good. So they could do that. But from me as a standpoint, like I use Lightroom and I use Photoshop, and you don't have anything like that yet on the Apple side.
So correct. There's really no true dedicated professional photo editing app like Lightroom or Photoshop. Yes, they have Pixelmator Pro. I don't consider that a Lightroom version at all. It doesn't come with their Photomator too.
What's Photomator?
That is more mimicking like Lightroom.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I just think they should have never killed off Aperture all those years ago. If they never got rid of Aperture and kept building that from, 2006 or 7? It was like when the original Lightroom came out is when they started that.
Well, it's like anybody that had a Mac was using Aperture.
Yep.
Probably, I don't know if it came with it. I don't know if it was a pay app or not.
I think it was paid for, if I remember correctly. My friend's dad, who was a professional photographer back in 2005, 6, 7, he used to use Aperture, and I would always go back and forth with him about like Aperture versus Lightroom. And I still think Lightroom offered more, but Aperture was close, very close. And if they kept going with it, they probably would have beat Adobe at their game.
Yeah, and I think what happened originally is I think one of the wives at Apple of a developer or something was into photography, and they went and Steve Jobs was like, we need something, and so they created it. Mm-hmm. I never used it, so I can't tell you whether it was good or not.
It had a very similar user interface like Lightroom Classic. This is Lightroom 1 we're talking about, the original Lightroom before Lightroom 3 came out. But I know they rolled like Aperture into like the Photos app and stuff, or at least pieces of it.
Photos
but it's
app
not,
sucks.
Yeah, it's not nearly the same.
Well, so what happened is Apple skewed to let's go with consumers.
Yep.
And Adobe stuck with, we're going to stick to professionals. And is Apple coming around now? Because they did lose a lot of market share to Premiere and to DaVinci and to all these other companies doing other high-end creations.
Well, dumbing down Final Cut Pro, in my opinion,
That's
from
true.
7 to 10, at least with the user interface and a lot of the features, I think they lost a good chunk of their audience using that app because, again, they went more the consumer route or tried to.
Yeah. And then what I don't understand is like they're also bundling things that already exist, like Pages and
Yeah, I find that
Keynote.
weird.
And then they couldn't say whether there's going to be extra features added to that. Like, are there added features that you get when you pay? I mean, at the end of the day, $129 a year for an entire studio is a really inexpensive price.
Now, I thought I read that Apple will still offer standalone and updates to their standalone products, but the more advanced like AI updates will be exclusively on the subscription creator platform.
Well, Apple and their AI has failed completely and miserably. Like, what happened to Apple Intelligence? Could we like sue that Apple Intelligence never had? That was their big push last year.
Oh, yeah.
Was Apple Intelligence is coming. It's not launching when the new phone comes out, but Apple Intelligence. Siri is horrible. Siri is one of the worst things. And you know what else got
I turned
horrible?
off Siri. I don't use it at all on my phone.
No, I have it off. What also got horrible is Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
She got really bad.
Don't say the name, Jared.
She didn't say anything back to me right now, but she has gotten really slow and just not good. And ChatGPT, on the other hand, or Google Gemini or Google Search that now comes up with AI that doesn't suck like a year ago, where the answers are actually pretty good.
So Gemini got rolled into Google Home, which controls all of my security cameras, my Nest cameras. And they now tell me like a person wearing this type of clothes and a hat is picking up a brown package on your porch and running away. Like it'll be very, very specific on what it sees instead of just saying person on the porch. It's
An
pretty
Asian
crazy.
person is out front delivering your Chinese food. Like
A guy in a purple cutoff sleeveless shirt with a big afro and small arms.
a big ass is out front. What should we do?
But back to the creator studio, whatever they're calling it. I will say it's much cheaper than Adobe. Adobe goes for like $105 a month for their entire creative suite. Granted, again, it's 20 full apps, not 10. And they're more professional, in my opinion, and offer a lot more. Or it's $780 a year. I think right now they have like a 40% off deal.
Can you buy it by the year?
Yeah, it's a $780 for the year annually.
I mean, I would do that. It's just they make it very difficult to find this stuff in there. I guess I pay by month.
Yeah, so if you did $780 a year, it would be $65 a month. But right now they also have that 40% deal, which is $42 a month. That runs until like February or something like that.
Where's that deal? Like, this is for me. I'm like,
I just
where
looked
do
up
I do this?
Adobe Creative Cloud plan. And
Yeah,
the
but
current
that's for
subscriptions.
new customers.
Correct. I don't think you can adjust your current plan unless you
That's what I'm
cancel.
talking about. Like, I'm like, how do I get to the plan? Well, it's like save 40% now. I see that.
I know if you threaten to cancel, they will come back with like an excellent deal and try and keep you.
Will they?
Yeah. Yeah, I've had friends that threatened to cancel and they came back with like half off.
Well, how do you threaten to cancel? You have to call them?
I think you just do it through the app and then it gives you like a pop-up.
Yeah, I mean, it says here, billed annually $41.99 a month.
Yeah, so
Save
that's the 40% off deal, yeah.
That's good. I have no problem paying per year.
Do they still offer the photo plan, which was like what, $10 a month?
It's $20. It says Lightroom and Photoshop, $20 a month.
Still not bad if you're just
No.
a photo user.
I know, but the hardest thing is when I'm doing critiques or people ask questions like, what other app is there to use? I'm like, guys, it's $20 a month.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but it's $20 a month. Like,
I'm so glued to Lightroom Classic at this point. I don't use Lightroom.
oh, that's right. That's just Lightroom. I wonder if that is Lightroom Classic or not.
Lightroom CC or whatever. Like I don't use that mobile version.
It says Lightroom Classic, Photoshop on desktop, web, iPhone, and iPad, and 1 terabyte.
Oh, they
of
give
storage.
you everything. Yes.
Yeah, so that's for $19.99 a month.
But I specifically really only use Lightroom Classic. And then I'll use Lightroom Mobile on my phone to do like phone photos, stuff like that, add presets to it. But I don't use like the Lightroom app on the desktop. I use Lightroom Classic, if that makes sense. I hate that they don't. It's so hard to explain to people, like new people. You want Lightroom Classic, not the regular Lightroom.
Yeah.
Even though Classic sounds like old and outdated and legacy.
It's still the best one.
I agree.
It's just when anybody tells me they're editing in Lightroom, I'm like, guys, but it barely organizes your images.
Yeah.
Like you got to think long term. You're like, when did Lightroom 1 come out? 2007?
I think 7, yeah.
5? Are you sure?
I started 2007 with the original version of Lightroom.
When did Adobe Lightroom come out? 2007, February 19th.
Yeah.
Wow, almost 19 years.
And it was Lightroom 3, I believe, was like the big relaunch of Lightroom when they redid a lot of it.
Yeah, but I got on it right away,
Same.
and it was just great for opening my RAW files. Before that, we were using Bridge and Adobe.
Yep.
So, but you have to think long term. You have to think about your ecosystem that you're going to get into. I do think it would be interesting if Apple resurrected Aperture.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe they will. They have a new CEO potentially coming soon.
And keep in mind, the obvious one big thing is that Apple has over Adobe is making their software run perfectly on their own silicon chips and their own MacBooks and whatever.
Well, that was the great thing about Final Cut, where you export and it's done already because it's just already doing everything.
It's optimized for their chip. Yeah, I mean, Adobe needs to optimize it across platforms. So for PC and Mac, they can't just only optimize it for a Mac, which is why it has its glitches here and there. But personally, I've been pretty damn happy with Adobe's performance on a Mac over the past few years, especially since the silicon chips were introduced. Premiere crashing, that's a total thing of the past. I will say it probably crashed maybe one time in the past year or two. Like, I can't even count on one hand how many times it's crashed. Where back in the day, it was like nonstop crashing, freezing, spinning ball of death, all of that. But
that could have been the Intel processors too.
That's what I'm thinking. Because back in the day, it used to be better to use Premiere on a PC. And now I feel like it's almost the opposite. But I haven't had problems, and people always bring that up. Well, Premiere crashes. It's like, yeah, 5 years ago. It's just like when people bring up Canon R5 like overheats. I'm like, yeah, 5 years ago.
Well, when it first came out, like
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
how many hours did we film yesterday?
We filmed a user guide for basically the entire day for 3 hours at a time. And yeah, it did not overheat once.
Yeah, it's been a non-issue since they put out the different firmware right at the beginning.
Yep.
So I'm not signing up for this Apple thing. I am going to go pay for the entire year of Adobe, though. And I probably need to do that same thing for you guys, for your account.
Yeah, I actually just updated my apps yesterday. There was an update for Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects, Audition. Oh, it's telling me right here. Updated a day ago. Premiere Pro, Audition, After Effects, and Media Encoder. So more on the video side.
Yeah, it's basically stuff I don't use.
Biggest thing, by the way, for people just starting out with Adobe, do not update in the middle of a project. Make sure that project is fully done on the current software form, then update after and start a fresh project.
Yeah. So I mean, I see what Apple's trying to do, get more recurring revenue from software.
Oh, I get it.
And that's fine. I just don't think it's in prime time right now for creators. Now, if you're a video person, really, if you're a video person, you're getting into audio or you're coming up, you're like a student, you're like, yeah, $6 a month or $3 a month to get it instead of spending $200 or $300 for the software, you might be turning to them first and not Adobe.
Yeah, I mean, that student deal is hard to turn down. $3 a month or $30 for the year. I mean, $30 for the year comes out to
one OnlyFans post,
$2.50 a month, $2.50 a month, or one OnlyFans post, according to Jared. And Final Cut Pro standalone is $300 for the year for forever. That's pretty damn expensive. You're going to pay for 10 years before you pay for the standalone version of Final Cut Pro.
Right.
So why not just do the student deal?
If you're a student, but you have to be a student.
Correct.
At some point, you're not a student. But what if I said I'm a student of life?
What do you have to do to prove? Like, do you have to just use a college email address or something? Or
I don't know.
Like, what if you're just like Van Wilder and you're in college for 10 years?
look, you know, it gets to the point where you're like making money in life and you're like, it's not worth playing this game anymore. Yeah. It's like I say people that like, I talked to someone last night, I don't have Netflix. I'm like, how do you not have Netflix? Well, they don't let you share. And I share, like, my dad gives me all of these different, like, I have every other software that I can share or service. I'm like, that's just pay for fucking Netflix. They even have a free tier.
I just actually bundled a lot of my streaming services. I think I did Disney, Hulu, and HBO. And it's much less than trying to pay for each of them separately. So I highly recommend looking into bundling.
From what? Your cell your internet TV or sorry, your TV?
Yeah, streaming apps for the TV. So I think it's like $30 a month, where it would have been like 47, 50
Well,
bucks.
who do you do that through?
I think I did it through Disney Plus. And now I can basically watch Hulu stuff on the Disney Plus app.
I didn't know they made a deal with HBO.
Yeah, they just announced that.
Well, for now, it depends on who buys HBO.
Yeah,
So.
Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max bundle plan. Looking it up now. You could do with ads or without ads. I always do no ads.
I just couldn't sit through ads.
And I know a lot of people also hate subscriptions. I don't know. If I'm getting new features, I don't necessarily mind it because I'm getting them as soon as they're available and ready, where before you had to wait like an entire year or two to get new features on a
3
standalone.
years.
Or 3, yeah.
Photoshop changed not often.
So, and for me, I'm like, I don't care that I don't outright own the actual software. Like, I don't mind leasing it from the company. Again, as long as I'm getting constant updates and fixes and all of that, and I don't really mind.
But I won't be getting Apple. I don't have Apple One because I don't use Apple Fitness. I don't use any of the, I don't use Apple Music because I really like Spotify.
Yeah.
And they were there first.
Same.
And I like Spotify. So, right, like there's just no reason for me. I get Newsstand. You want to know something stupid? I like Newsstand. Newsstand's really cool.
Yeah.
$12.99 a month. You get all that shit. They give you a 3-month trial. How come with every other subscription I get on the iPhone, I can sign up and go and cancel the subscription right away, and it stays active for the time that I have that I'm paying for? If you try to do that with your 3-month Apple Newsstand subscription, it will cancel it instantly and you lose access.
I've done that so many times where I've signed up for the free week trial and literally canceled immediately.
I'm not even talking about free week. Like, well, if you're offering me 3 months, give me my 3 months.
Yeah.
And then let me turn it off right now because I get what they're doing. I get why they do it.
Sure, yeah.
But any other app where you pay for it, I can instantly go in and cancel it. And so what if it dies in a month? I can sign right back up and pay for that month. But what if I don't want it to auto renew? But the whole goal is to get it to auto renew so they make more money.
I just had to share my Apple TV with my wife the other day, and at first
That's
I thought
a big mistake.
I thought she was going to have to like use my Apple ID and all of that, but no, you can just add the family member to your plan, and it's really nice. She can still use her current Apple ID and use Apple TV wherever she is.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting.
No, is it extra to add a family member?
No, I think it was free, if I recall. I think I could add up to like 6 members.
In the same household, though?
In the same household, yeah.
All right. I have 0 members in the household, unless I add my cat.
Yeah, you can start a whole family account.
Well, you're adding more family members, so
Yeah.
I guess you're on your way to 6.
Oh, God.
Let me get to one last thing from last week. We had that long discussion about the Facebook post that Cliff Mountner wrote up, which is the exact same thing that I've been hammering on for the past year or so. And of course, people send me all the time these videos of people holding cameras wrong, people shooting wrong, people doing all of this wrong at their weddings. And I'm like, do I take the approach of sharing it and saying hashtag don't do this, hashtag learn to shoot properly, hold the camera right? Like, yeah, kind of like don't be an asshole, but part of it is I don't want to shame someone with like 1,000 followers, right? I don't. You have 130,000 followers potentially, which is what I did the other day when a wedding photographer posted, it came up in my feed, and she's out there shooting, holding the camera out in front of her, but documenting at the same time, with her Meta glasses, because someone was like, yeah, well, how do you expect these influencers to shoot a wedding and not wear and not block their Meta glasses? I'm like, well, that is a valid point. And that's where it talks about like,
don't wear Meta glasses and not have to show the world this wedding that you're photographing and you're getting paid a lot of money for.
But even
right.
not wearing the Meta glasses, they're still going to hold the camera out in front of them, right in front of their right chest level in front. And one of the things was, it's so hot today. Let me show it's 100 degrees. Let me show you how I quickly did this shoot. And just like you watch her as she puts her hand underneath the camera, onto the side of the lens, the bottom of the lens, and all you hear is click, 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 clickety clack of them walking like, haha, this is so great. And it's like, well, no, it's not. These photos are going to suck, and I know they're going to suck. The angle sucks. The level you're shooting at sucks. You have 0 intent the way you're shooting. You're just spraying, and you're like, because it's so hot, we don't want to shoot too long.
I just don't know how you even see what you're shooting if you're looking at the screen on a bright, sunny day at high noon. Like, unless you're maxed out, even maxing out the brightness on your screen it's really tough to see your composition at all. The viewfinder obviously helps you do that.
Yeah. So the other part of my brain is like, well, I also need to supply the world with the education of showing them why you don't shoot these ways. And so that's stuff that I want to work on, but I do feel like I do need to share this stuff, but I really don't want people to think that I am shaming them, but I actually am shaming them.
I mean, you are the rant guy and you tend to shame people. So
I know, but I also understand, like, I have a big following and I don't want people piling onto these people. That's not it. Just let me do it. Let me do the piling on.
Let me be the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think that the more I start calling attention to it, potentially it makes it easier to then transition people to understand why. Here's the reasons why you tuck your elbows. You see it when we do the user guides. I'm hammering home and doubling down on this is the way to shoot. You may not have understood this because you come from a world of shooting with a cell phone that's never had a viewfinder. So part of it is you have to understand that people didn't grow up with a viewfinder. They didn't do it. So they aren't familiar with it. Just like terminologies, 1/500. My 24/70. Like, people just don't know. The problem is all the influencers start saying dumb shit, and then these kids are like, well, that influencer said it, so it's got to be right.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
man, I shot, speaking of shooting on a really hot day, I remember I shot a wedding mid-July, and it was 104 degrees out that day. Jesus, I looked like I jumped out of a pool that day. It was so bad. And the whole ceremony was outside. Brutal.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But I still wouldn't like rush my photography because it was so hot out. I would still try to, like we always say, shoot with intent, get the shot, even though I was like dripping the entire time.
Which brings everything back to Paris and wanting to shoot with the Leica to just do something different. No matter what I put in my hands, I'm going to get good results. Like I'm going to be able to do what I do that way. If I decide to go to the Louvre, I already scheduled to go to like a Martin Parr photo exhibit in Paris. I talked to the museum about it. So I'm also looking to photograph whether potentially jazz club, potentially a chef. So I'm trying to do stuff, but I'm only there for a couple days. I have all day. Well, I land on Friday. So I've got Friday, which is really not a big day for doing much because you're just getting there, but all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and flying out Monday. So there's a lot.
You could do a lot of damage in 2 days for sure.
Yeah. I mean, definitely going to the Eiffel Tower. Gonna definitely take the wide lux and have fun with a roll of that. I guess I have to go to the Louvre again because every time I go, I do get a different Mona Lisa picture at a different time. Right. And the room has been different and it's really expensive, like £80 to go to Mona. It's like $100 a ticket.
Wow.
It's really expensive.
That is expensive.
But I think this time I will go later in the day. I think when you go at like 6 o'clock or after 5 o'clock and they close at 7 or whenever, it's usually less people because all the tourists and old people are there much earlier. Or I was told that the best time to go to like most of the museums is, I don't know, when they have when they stay open till like 9.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because like the Musée d'Orsay is a beautiful museum as well. So I might buy the ticket that allows me to do both, but then again, it also depends on the time that I can go in. So that's it, Steven. That's all I got for this week.
That's it.
What is next week? Are you done?
No, I'm here next week, and then the week after is when I'm out for about 2 weeks because we are scheduled to have Cinderella on January 27th.
Okay. So you're off the 26th, right? Is the 23rd going to be your last day, or are you going to do the 26th?
Whatever that Friday is, yeah.
That's the 23rd.
Yeah, because the 26th is going to be crunch time. And
my birthday is the 21st.
Yes, Wednesday.
Good. You should have had your kid on my birthday. Stonewall Jackson, born on January 21st.
Mine is J-Lo.
Famous birthdays,
Jennifer
January.
Lopez. She shares my birthday.
Let's see. Famous birthdays on January 21st. Who's Big Lex?
Oh my God. Bindi Irwin shares my birthday.
Oh.
Your favorite.
Bindi Irwin. God, am I on these famous birthdays?
Amelia Earhart. She shares my birthday. Look at that.
She's dead. Excuse me, Steven. Grigory Rasputin shares my birthday.
Who's that?
Rasputin?
Nothing.
No, Russian Rasputin. Rasputin was Russia's mystic and faith healer. He is best known for having befriended the imperial family of the Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia, through whom he gained considerable influence in the final year of the Russian Empire. He was assassinated. Oh, go read his assassination story. It's kind of crazy. Basically, he was brought somewhere. They gave him beer. They tried to poison him. They gave him enough to kill like freaking 10 horses, and he didn't die.
Wow.
They shot him like 37 times. He didn't die, and then he finally died. But it was pretty crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. All right, so I'm going to be making a decision on the Leica now, and I will order that in from the B&H, who will send it to me, and then I'll send it back when I'm done using it, and that's really, really it. But also, I'm going to LA as well, so I really wish Canon had that 50 to 150.
Yep.
Because that would make all the decisions much easier, even though it's a bigger lens. So, all right, let's wrap it up. This is episode number 182. Which we don't put at the front anymore, which is okay. Thank you guys very much for listening. Jared, PolinPhotosphoto.com. See ya.
Bye.